The Mongols, they're going to look to prove it here, Komodo, as we're going to get into game number 1. A few things I'll take note right now for the Mongols. Kant moving over to the ISO, something that he's really strong at to play as a potential duelist. The flexibility, yet again, of this roster. M and Fear, it's going to be a Gecko this time. And the only thing that really stuck around is that Cypher and that Astra. Fancy United, though, on the other hand, this is a comp that people are saying to be played on Pearl, right? Yoru Neon, big consideration for that. I'm interested to see this one, though. Yes, I Can is on Killjoy rather than something like a KO.
Yeah, well, for me, Sky is Blue on the Vice, right? We've already seen it played on towards Bind. You can sort of play it in a similar fashion here. I like this creep up over at B Long from the Mongols at the moment. They can get a nice idea on where this Killjoy util set is going to be playing from the audio cues of the turret.
Double Sentinel, always a thing here in VCTC. M and Fear, though, in the rest of Mongols already pushing over out to spawn. It's a 1-for-1. Nia, though, ready to try find combat. Undercut comes on in. Wingman stuns there, too. And while the Mongols do have a bit of shot control, it's more frags for the defense. The aggression from the Mongols already catching Fancy off guard.
Now Cruz as well, 1 versus 3. Spike not in possession.
Pick comes in. Fancy United trying to fight on back, but it's just so difficult right now. You only have a classic against these two Guardians, and the Mongols just unseen in their advanced crews, checking every corner that he can, but this is an awkward sight line. Cons can see him barely. Gets away in time. Still the spawn hold here for Mongols. 30 seconds left. The spike in the clutches of the defense. And Cruz eventually. The swing comes in. A sliver of HP. Cons confirms it. And the Mongols will take this pistol.
Yeah, I was a little bit surprised that Cons didn't call the audible that 119 can come out as well from that from the smoke, right? As soon as you see that he's gone into the window, you could technically try and play it in the numbers, right? But in the end, it works out nicely for them. I don't really think we can take too much away from that round, Stacks, because you got Mongols just creeping up together in numbers over at B Long. As soon as that happens, they overwhelm Yes I Can, and it kind of just brings in the rest of the Fancy squad to try and play a duel battle. Aim will start to get warmed up, of course, in these first couple of seeding rounds. So we really want to see for the Mongols, right? How far forward can they actually go on this defensive side? How far can they stretch this out easily?
It's a strong showing, really, from the Mongols to begin the action like that. It's a surprise Fancy United who wants to make the burst play happen onto a site. Nia already getting in there, disregarding the Nebulas in the way. Duke, though, good Lindsay line. And not only that, that's the power of the Vice. Sky is Blue playing up top here. Not only that, the shear's good, isolates the duelist. More frags here for the Mongols, and it's easy pickings on the anti-eco.
Yeah, I just noticed as well, when the shear does get popped, there's no arc rows behind it too to be able to fight and blind it, right? So the rest of the squad is essentially there for the Mongols. They don't need to have any self-blinding. Just aim at the one singular choke point, which is always going to be a questionable play. You understand it when it's like a full eco. When it's a gun round, okay, a little bit different if it happens then, but I mean, it didn't, right? So clean 2-0 for the Mongols so far. Now is going to be their first real challenge. What can they do against the Rifles, Dax, in what you were saying earlier is looking to be a very common composition in this rendition of Pearl now. Yeah,
and how does Twilight infiltrate with the gate crash? How do we see some of these small openings for Fancy United? I do also want to point out real quick, if the Dizzy is the one flash that the Mongols will utilize, Sky is Blue can hold the arc rows for a rainy day later on. The shear, though, triggered by the fake out. That's one thing that Yoru can do against the Vice in this matchup.
The thing is, though, both teams running the Astra, you've got that autonomy too, so you don't necessarily need to put all eggs in the basket of this A site at the moment as the Mongols. They have a lot of this util set over at B to play passive, to play retake if they need. They've got the opportunity of a couple of these stronger rifles as well, so time is actually going to be quite the issue for Fancy United if they leave it really late.
Yeah, and I like this Cruz lurking here towards A main, can still navigate and manipulate the map with these stars from afar. But over onto Connector and a push in mid for Fancy United. It's a potential pinch into A here.
These Razor Vines, you have the grab well as well, and it could actually be a recipe for success for the Mongols. They're already dispatching it. Yes, I can. Yeah,
the double stack's good. The Mongols even need an eye out the outside of Art. Bonds with a find there at the very end of that one. And the expedition party that Fancy United sends, it has gone to the wayside. Strong bonus already for the Mongols, and this should be a round confirmed for them.
upgrade of the rifles for everybody as well. You still hold on to the 2 that you came into this round with. But again, you know, why I highlighted that time was going to be an issue, right? You're not running any informational ability on Fancy United. You've got no prowlers from a Fade, for example. You've got no drone from a Sova, right? You're not running a Gecko, so you've got no Dizzy to group and get information on. You have to be extremely proactive on this side of Fancy United. Timing with a lot of this utility. A great timed fake out. Getting Nia active behind the Yoru utility is going to be an important factor to come through from Fancy United. It's the kind of weakness of this agent lineup, especially when you've got what MongolZ is bringing to the table. Look how much information that they can get themselves, right? It's ridiculous.
You have so many audio cues from Device. You have the Gecko with the reusable utility. Cons is willing to just... He can just check by himself. He is the intel. He has a shield. And I guess this is where Fancy United, the concern is you're running a solo KO who is a bit of a jack of all trades, but he doesn't provide everything that you will like. So let's see now a different point of view for Fancy United. They play at the B, they sell the fast lane. Twilight also popping the dimensional drift. Put it away. Twilight now, close contact with them in fear. Blindside sure, but FCY is still caught in the trap. 119, a mastermind with the tripwires, and the Mongols keeping Fancy United at bay.
Yeah, they can't get in because they haven't broken that forward tripwire. It wasn't pinged out by Twilight, unfortunately, so that literally will hold them on back. It's ridiculous that 119's been able to find that kill on a round where you use the dimensional drift, but nothing to back it up, right? No pop flash from Foxy, no Nia to back it on in. That was really kind of one-dimensional from Twilight being sent in, but the adjustment now over towards Sky's Blues territory on A.
Yeah, but Cons, he has a chance here by Connector. Maybe peer into Link as Nia and the rest of Fancy United want to push onto the A site. The Razor Vines though will be pesky if they even make it there, because Cons now with contact through the wall. That's the one. Double tap now, ready for action. The shield's broken, sure, but the Mongols instead
30 seconds left.
are once finding these frags. Time ticking on the way. Fancy United still stuck here. And the Razor Vines will stall. That's insult to injury. Fancy United hurting, limping, trying to make their way onto the site here, Komodo. But in a 2v1, yes I can. He needs to will it. It's not gonna happen. A 4th round now.
Some good damage from Fancy United. I'll give them that there. With the Sheriffs able to get a couple of kills. I'm looking at what ability they still have at the end there for Cons and Nexi, and I'm seeing 2 potential strong options, right? Play together as a team in the 2 versus 1, or fall on back, and when the spike starts to get planted, use your ISO ult, right? Kill contract him in towards it and just play for the time. The round will be done. You guaranteed the kill. So 2 options. They go with probably the better one because now they still have that ult available alongside the Thrash. So pretty strong. You've got Steel Garden that's starting to get bought up by Sky is Blue. I'm really looking towards Fancy and removing utility, right? 0 point has to be on point because you got to remove what? Cypher Trips, Razor Vines, Arcros, Sheer. You got to remove a lot in this double Senti comp.
And look at how the double Sentinels are playing here, Komodo. They're playing so far back as much as they can. It's already the... It's towards secret side even for Sky is Blue. So it's so tough to rely on that KO knife to get the job done. Consto, still early contact. Gets confirmation that Art's being taken. Backs away now for a helping hand there from Nexi.
And this is the pressure cooker scenario as well for the Mongols. When they realize they've lost 2 crucial parts of the map, could you stretch out through Link? Could you stretch out through Art? You really have to consider what angles we're going to be looking towards them. And Fear, though, right now, Dax, he's got 2. His job's done. That's okay.
The IGL gets 2 immediately. Nia caught napping, truthfully. Fancy United unable to react in time.
Yeah.
This round is so awkward here, Komodo. The spike in the hands of Foxy, and he's all alone here.
Yeah, you got to wait for time. You got to wait for your teammates to start to clear out long. There's true trap wires on the side as well, right? So for Foxy, are you using any of your util to assist your team to flash on in to 0 points on in? As soon as this trap wire is broken, you know the jig's up. You know everything's coming on towards this site. You still have Cons, who is here with the kill contract available to pull them out, and that's where you can flood the site together as the team.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if Foxy can even get the suppress on 119. Answers no.
He's waiting for it.
He's ready. He wants to cast it. No distractions. Time for the 1v1. Welcome to the Gulag, Foxy. As time is running out.
What a shot!
Impeccable from Cons. Precision, truly, from the Mongols. And the rich keep getting richer here, Komodo. The Mongols now perfect so far in the half.
That is an absolutely amazing shot to come out from Cons. You're looking in towards these teams, right? Map number 1 of a best of 3, a qualification game into this upper bracket, right? You're kind of considering, all right, are we from the get-go ready? Have we done our individual aim routine? Have we done our prep as a roster to get into it? Well, number 1, we know they've done their prep as a roster because they've come in with a new agent pool. Number 2, Cons is firing. He hasn't died yet.
It's your signature Cons ISO game. We've seen this in stage number 1. We're seeing it right now. And the Mongols, every single day, we see them here in VCTC. I feel like the fan club grows, the believers grow, and the way that they're performing so far, unmatched by such an experienced roster in terms of pedigree in Fancy United, with experienced players like Yes I Can leading that charge.
That 0 point is pinged out 2 of them as well right now, Dax, but against the less than weaponry. 1-1 actually kind of favors Fancy United. They can try and retrieve it, but it's hot potato out.
Of all things that can kill Cons, it's the classic that gives him his first stats. It's a little bit ironic in Fancy United pulling away from a main. They look to pick up whatever they can. A Spectre, a Bucky. That's all they got. Is the Shear has been triggered, and at least that's some Vice Utility gun for the later round.
Yeah, nice movement from Nia to be able to bait that. The Razor Vine was also deployed, so you're starting to remove a little bit of this util, but I'm looking at the radar and I'm seeing a change in deployment from MongolZ too. This time Sky is Blues over to the B site to play along the Cypher utility. You've got 119 playing a dugout, and the rest of the Mongols are just playing on towards the link area, right? So they're setting themselves up nicely for this denial.
Wait for Fear's utility. Not the slightest perfection! Nia, nice idea! And it does get rid of the Gecko Sure, but damage is still done by the Mongols, holding the line. And it's up to Yes I Can now. Vandal on hand.
The cage.
The Cyber Cage is immediate intel. If he touches that one, that's noise made. If he moves away, well, Nexi's there, but the contact's good for Yes I Can. Now, it's positivity for Fancy United. Some optimism, perhaps, in a 1v2. Arc throws is perfection. And the Mongols, I wanted to point it out for so long. Sky is Blue is holding on to that piece of utility for so long in the round. He doesn't set it up. He uses it to swing instead.
And really crucial as well because of how low 119 is at on HP at the end there, right? Are you waiting for the spike to get planted, or are you trying to play when you can do it on the back of your flash? The Arc Rose has been placed in the same spot pretty much every round so far, Dax. And he's held it at bay, he's held it hidden. Now that it's been revealed, I mean, are you going to try and shoot that out as Fancy United before, you know, he pops it? Probably not. It's a little bit difficult. It's a nice, vast wall to put it on, but you disregard that, right? It's 6-0 right now. You've got Overdrive for Nia, you've still got this Null Command, you've got Cosmic Divide for Chris, and you've got mid that has already been gathered, a stretch out to Link.
Yeah, it's time now to go through the doors to make that move, but Cons again, willing for contact. He's challenging a little too much, though, for the past few rounds here, Komodo. Against many, even a player like him can't stand.
Yeah, and Yes I Can gets the lockdown as well. So if I'm Fancy United, I'm making a decision right now to literally group up Null Command and go together as a unit. You remove this utility over at this A site. It's not going to pop Sky is Blue because he's over at B, but it will remove all the smokes that Astra for Nexi does have available. So you can technically overwhelm, set your lockdown up if you want, but they're going patient. They're going passive. Again, it just comes to mind, Dax. It's time for Fancy United. You have to make not your enemy.
Yeah, and just jiggling with the judge. No answer at all. Fancy United, big chance now to play into the B side. The only one anchoring right now would be Sky is Blue. Over into the halls there. Fast lane setup. Express is perfect too. Mongols now trying to go for the hold, but no dice. Nia gets in there. Fancy United now with site control.
Every one of these kills so far has been individual from the Mongols too. Fancy United strength in numbers, and with 5 Dax, I mean, this is untenable. You would feel like for the Mongols, I think you're just looking for damage.
Yeah, whatever damage they can do. They have so much money in the bank. It's Fancy United who's going to need a clean round to start building their momentum. But Nexi again, trying to separate the fight at the very least. Look to blockade B main there. 119, drawing blood against Yes I Can. Beautiful angle from up top. And the museum is just picturesque for 119. He's all alone now. And unfortunately for him, his masterpiece will end with 3. Fancy United will find their first round.
Gotta say, great damage at the end there for the Mongols when you consider that Fancy United, of the 4 available ultimates, not even deploying a single one for the closing of that round, gives yourselves a little bit of breathing room coming in towards this next one. But I look to flip the picture as well, right? You've still got this Thrash that MN Fear has been holding on to, which technically you'd be well on your way to the next one at the moment. You got that Neural Theft for 119. As soon as you get a pick, you'll get a lot of information. And in this specific map too, rotations are quite long, right? You're not really running a roster, and the way that Fancy United are running this Yoru on Twilight, that they are gate crashing over to the other side of the map and faking information, right? Yeah. So you are grouping together as numbers as Mongols in this round. You are changing your strategy for a retake where the Steel Garden, if you can get a flank, that's pretty powerful.
I mean, they're expecting the lockdown play, and you can see why they head towards top mid even. Good placement of utility here for Yes I Can. You said it. Alarm bot now into play. We get the null command, and Yes I Can now finds the frenzy of the Mongols horde coming in from behind. Not only that, Fancy United, they're on site. They are susceptible for a Steel Garden unless Cruz can get one here.
I was waiting for MN Fear potentially use the Thrash, but right now they do overwhelm Cruz, and now you've got 119 playing from behind. All the information, Dax, it's all here.
Yeah, it's time for chaos. We hear the Steel Garden into play. Sky is blue, letting it rip. Foxy now, just a victim. And Twilight, the only one standing. A push for the shorty, not good enough. A gate crash now.
Oh, what a gate crash!
Possible, but Sky is blue, is holding steady and protects Wingman to finish the job off. 7th now here for the defense.
You can see the cogs turning in his head as well there. Sees the spike is being defused. What do you shoot? You got 3 enemies, but you got one little jiggly boy on the spike. A little bit unfortunate at the end there. Nice strategy from Fancy United, I guess, right? Group in numbers, get into the site with the null command. You drop the lockdown as well. You're starting to piece things together, but unfortunately for them, Mongols are just winning the first duel, wrapping around. 119 doesn't reveal himself, right? It's a completely different look of a round from the Mongols there, and that really does trip out Fancy United, which I gotta say, again, it's the deficit of this roster of agents that Fancy United are running. They don't have layering in the round for util information.
I'm just truthfully impressed by Mongols and how the protocols have been in this game. The adjustment there in that last round to utilize the Vice again to its most maximum value. And 119 willing to peek. MN Fear, truly fearless. Bravery. Give him a cane point, don't you? Because he's going super. He's found 2 by the pillar. Behind enemy mines here, Komodo. He survives, he thrives. And it's Cruz the only one still standing. Easy picking for Nexi there. A flawless for this round.
Okay, great trigger discipline to find Nia, but how has he found Foxy's 360'd, he's 720'd on him, still got the headshot, and lived to tell the tale, by the way. That is absolutely ridiculous.
Fearless and flawless, even the game has to say it. The Mongols have come to play, and finally, we get a Fancy United Esports timeout. I have been waiting for this moment here, Komodo, just because it's not just about stemming the bleeding anymore. That hemorrhage has been clear so far, with Fancy only getting 1 in this half.
Yeah, I mean, the decision from Artie as well with the team, Coach Artie, to really, you know, isolate where their weaknesses are, highlight where their strengths are, and adopt it to individual strengths of this roster as well, right? We know that 119 is really proficient when it comes to the Cypher. We know that Nexi can stay on towards this Astra. Those are fine, but a bit of a change up, right? A bit of a reel in of Sky is Blue, changing from the Neon, right? MN Fear, slight change, pivot from the Sky to the Gecko. He's playing it a little bit similarly at the moment, but the Mosh has been actually, I've been keeping a keen eye on that. His Mosh timing has actually been pretty impactful for space and time when they get in towards, you know, a kerfuffle, right? So I want to say these changes that they've brought in towards this series are really nice. And for Fancy United, this is their first showing of Pearl, right? As these 5. So far, not too strong, but I don't really feel like that's too much of their own problem. They're not adapting mid-round for sure, absolutely. But I think Mongol's strengths are really what the story is in this map so far.
Yeah, this does feel like there's a big reason why Mongols fix it, and now it's an expedition for actual close combat. A 2 for 1 so far, wants once more, but Cruz the answer. Fancy United though, fighting back with Foxy, and eventually the coin flip works out for FCY. Foxy, how do you survive that one? 119 couldn't connect the numbers in the second round finally for the attackers.
That's just a case of being in the right click and the aim just projects right on up, isn't it? We've all been there. A big battle actually left, right, and center for the Mongols in that one, that they dodge the flashes, they go in together as the team, but hey, I don't know how Foxy got more than one at the end there. Everybody was aiming at him and everybody just missed it. Robot doing the Matrix dodging.
Well, sometimes you gotta ask, what does the Foxy say? And right now he says we'll get a second round. Is that good enough though here for Fancy United? I don't think so. It was a scrappy round. And the Mongols after that one, back to usual business. Back to playing anchors here with the Vice towards 8 especially.
Yeah, they change it back up. They've been a little bit weak in towards mid, so grouping up together there. They'll have to pivot back towards the safe side in just a little bit. Sheer goes in, standard Twilight things. As soon as that fades, he can technically Dimensional Drift and set his team up. They're still holding this Cosmic Divide, by the way.
Yeah, and I'm also watching out for Fear right now. You mentioned how many times his Mosh Pit has been essential, and I've noticed once the Sheer is popped, they usually put him in link position so he can go for a mosh pit in the same area where this Razor Vine's being thrown right now. So the pivot from Fancy United, still a chance though for them to just play the fake instead and still head towards A.
I'm noticing that Yes I Can is being very cognizant of where this camera is actually looking as well from the link. He's trying to piece together a bit of timing to wait for his team to come in through towards link and essentially to pull 119 off this camera so he can lurk up.
Stars already. Here comes the stun. But Neo moves through. And Neo in the 1v1. But next he's still the one above. A retreat now towards Connector. And here comes the rest of the Mongols forces. Gecko here. He's out. Tries to get the blind.
That stops them.
Fancy
That
United
absolutely stops them.
Look at the time here. Because of that, Dimensional Drift is the play.
Yeah, and the Cosmic Divide going on in as well. What can 119 do but buy time for his team to get over here, essentially, Dax?
Double blind, sure. But Twilight can still find the angle. Short the up close. Nexi also shutting down Foxy for now. But Cruz offside. Get some damage done. Yes, I can. Behind the veil. Gets the plant at the very least. Silence his friend. Right now, though. Noise made as Cruz is the one caught. What was that, Cons? From front to back, he does it all! And the Mongols! There's just no contesting them here. A night round now.
That's great awareness to come through from Cons as well. When they recognize the fact that Foxy is down, you can bait tap that one as a Fancy United member as well. But when you've got your head on a swivel like Cons does at the moment, he's just so proficient in turning around with this very fast aim. You got Nexi who's doing the exact same thing, just thriving in the chaos it seems at the moment are the Mongols. And I mean, you're looking at, right, the A site being Vice's territory. You're looking at the B site being Cypher's territory. You're looking at Foxy, who's 0 points and not finding too much information. You're in the wheelhouse of the Mongols having an absolutely gorgeous half.
I'm just sometimes looking at these full-size cameras. And Cons, oh, he was locked in, but too confident now in the peak. And we've seen this go to the wayside as Mongols loses the ISO early. Fear, though, needs to try and recompense for that flub a little bit. Push now. Nia up close again. Judge though. The slide in there. And Nexi now with control. Gravel's good, but it's not good enough to confirm a kill. And Fancy United, in these scraps, they are able to stand tall here.
Yeah, it's a little bit of an overheat from the Mongols in that scenario, but well worth it for Fancy United. They have to deliver as well with these guns, don't forget. 4 versus 2 now. And you're against double Sentinel. So it's literally, who do you want to go and play against, right? You've baited out a bit of this utility from Cypher over at the B site where you've just got the traps. They can be gate crash. They can be denied with, you know, just creeping up together as a team, as an idea.
Pick your poison. You want trips? You want fines? But
essentially, you're just grouping up as a team and going together here, right?
Yeah. I'm looking for Foxy also. Right now, he's at least in position to try and throw a knife, but while this happens, 119 evacuates the site. He's thinking that there's a possible pinch towards A main, but eventually now, with the utility being thrown onto the site, it's confirmation for the Mongols that Fancy United are in a completely different postal code.
As soon as that first trap wire is destroyed, you know that it's ending at this B site, and then it kind of is for 119 and Sky is Blue individually. How can they find these kills? Because they're so spread out.
I'm not going to count it out, though. Potential 1v2s for the 2 Sentinels. There is a chance for the Mongols, but Fancy United playing the numbers well. A double peek to get the first. Here we go with the flash for the second. And Foxy finishes off the job. A teammate, yes, for the third.
With the Dizzy, if you've got these Razor Vine lineups as well, you're kind of considering how we got to deploy them. With a map like Pearl as well, you can technically use the shear as a flank watch too, but you're playing against the Yoru, so you don't necessarily want to do that. Who could just gate cash through?
Yeah.
So you just play with the team in this round specifically.
Yeah, Trips, you got the lurk in 119, so effectively Sky is Blue is a pseudo initiator with a flash on hand. The plant though quick from Fear and the Wingman. You still have height though being taken here by Yes I Can. The smoke's in the way. It's already MongolZ calling for the Hall's claim. But watch out. Dion, look at this one. 119.
Yeah, the timing.
Oh.
And...
That's why I take it. That's a big one.
Watch out. I'm out of here.
See? Onto the site now. Yes, I can. Even catching out Con. Clean pistol from Fancy United. Looking good. Looking stellar. Sky is Blue. The only one still standing. With a quick little defuse already. Contact made. That's one. But that's all they'll get. It's Fancy United better on the defense already at the start.
Yeah, you're just kind of seeing Sky is Blue be a body with a gun at that point in time, right? You're looking at the later stages and maybe you want to get that Arc Rose in a position that you can swing off together with the team. But there's not much you can really do when a lot of these shots just come through these nebulas, unfortunately, for the team over on the MongolZ. They would have been a little bit stronger in taking some more space over towards Link instead of just leaving 119 to go for a bit of a flank there. I'd also kind of be interested to see, it's not something that I've seen just yet, if the Arc Rose can be placed from the long side through the wall into Link.
Yeah.
I know there's some trickiness with the depth of walls that it can get through on Abyss, for example, but I'm not actually sure if that translates onto Pearl.
I said two, actually. There's this one lineup where you can somehow go on top of that weird boat in the
yeah, I know one.
Yeah, that one. It's just, we'll see what creativity we'll get from Sky is Blue, but in an anti-eco, Fancy United should be in command.
Spike down.
The gravity well, it's just placed at the right moment at the right time. And FCY, we now have spike control, and it's the MongolZ will have to just go for a charge to try and get some damage done. Nia on the board here. Next victim. Yeah, this round's pretty much over here.
Yeah, I mean, it is just one of these anti-ecos, right? You're just trying to hold on to all your weapons as Fancy United, see what damage you can deliver over from the MongolZ. When you get your guns in towards the next round, you do still have a nice little safety net that you were afforded by your first half endeavors. I think one of the deficits that MongolZ need to be aware of right now as well is making sure that they are still pathing together towards these sites too, right? When you're running a double sentinel lineup, you do have to be a little bit more proactive as cons to find this space, how you're setting him up as Fear, how you're setting him up as Sky is Blue with these flashes, with this position of utility.
30 seconds
and then for
left.
Nexi as well, I'm going to be really interested to see the combination of nebulas and dissipates too. How are you baiting out your opponents? How are you moving them around the map?
Yeah, and 4 for Foxy. That's good to build up the null command. I'm also looking at some of the stats right now from the last game the MongolZ had on this map. 14 to 12, and most of their success actually came from the attacking side. But Moto, right now, it's a completely different comp. It's a different look. And we'll see with the guns what the play is here for the MongolZ.
Oh, it's also a different team, right? When you compare Unsigned 5 to Fancy United, flaring on the server, I think, was extremely crucial with the amount of assists. And the Doctor, I mean, his grav wells and Nova Pulses and just angles that he was able to hold in that series were ridiculous, right? So I'm thinking, you know, different teams, different beasts, different styles of play. You got to attack it a little bit differently. So we'll see what MongolZ look to do in this round and what information Fancy United are going to be able to find, more importantly, I feel.
Yeah, and Fancy United still willing to contest towards the art. The swing comes in after the turret gets intel. And it's a 1-for-1. So that's the Killjoy gone. But most of the utility actually is in the clutches of Cruz instead. Taking some stars though. Dissipates are into play. And the MongolZ now into post plant.
No flanks to come through at the moment because you've got the trap wire to find it, and no deeper positions as well. You've got a forward shear in towards the flowers, and you start to set up a bit of your utility. But Sky is Blue, it's info. You know that they're already coming out through art.
Yeah, it's all about the main hold here for the MongolZ. As you've said, Link now taken here by Fancy. A Nebula now to try and cover the tracks of Nia and the rest. The tap comes on in, undercuts there too. Fragment the answer, and here comes FCY. Push comes to shove. It's Sky is Blue who cuts the line. Sky is Blue! The color of victory seems to be in his name. And the MongolZ now in command with the buys. 10 to 5.
Yeah, you can see as soon as that push came through the smoke as well, I think it might have actually been a team flash that was thrown out in there for the main peak. I thought Sky's Blue would have been taken out by the angle that we were seeing from Fancy, but really nice coordination to come through actually to protect that spike from going down. I saw an undercut go on, an uppercut go on through at the right timing for the spray when the Nebula gets popped. I saw a bit of extra utility being thrown in the mix, a later grab roll to come through from Nexi as well, because I gotta give props towards Foxy. Nice timing on that 0 point for the team to get in towards the site, to tap on towards the spike, to try and initiate a defuse, try and bait in a lot of that utility, but numbers a little bit too strong for the Mongols, and now you're getting towards these later stages, stacks, where these rounds, if Fancy drop 1 or 2, that can be the map.
And if you've noticed how many rounds in this game already here, Komodo, Mongols sends out Cons. Cons go kill, and whenever he gets the first kill into a round, it's been convincing from the Mongols so far.
Yeah, absolutely. You can continue on. You've got that Steel Garden for Sky's Blue if you do group up together. I'm looking over towards the later side of the B area of the map as well. I'm seeing Twilight with the operator gate crashing towards the backside, but I don't really feel like he can get out of it too easy with this split coming through from the Mongols.
Twilight, where you going? Twilight, though, the op's good. And here you have it. The Steel Garden is upon us. It's only a pistol in the clutches of Twilight right now. Can't use that. Bro, swap your gun. Bro.
He's waiting for the jamming.
No, this is gonna be huge. Maybe a chance, but no. Sky is Blue is unrelenting. Domain expansion. Thy name is the Mongols, and this B site now taken by them.
Yeah, you could see that he was waiting for the timing for that gun to become unjammed, but it was just the wraparound that's too strong from Sky is Blue. And this is one of the situations as well that I'm looking at it, and Twilight is on an island by himself without any survival tools, right? He can get one shot at long, but as soon as he gets out, he relies on Cruz popping that Nebula to block off Link and essentially get out of dodge, which he just cannot do when the Steel Garden comes out. So a really big pivotal round for the Mongols to try and transition onto number 12 here, as they do just face up against the Pistols.
Yeah, impressive mid-take. And unfortunately for Twilight, like ships in the night off the distance, no one hears his SOS call. 2 more rounds, and the Mongols will take map number 1. We've seen them use mid well, actually, in this game. I love how they put the pressure, especially towards doors. But this time around, Fancy United, it's an eco buy, and because of it, they take the orb, they get the overdrive, so at least they have something to work with into this round.
Yeah, I mean, not calling anything too early, of course, but this is Mongols looking pretty clean against the, highest caliber team that they've played in this tournament so far, right? So it does beg the question, right? Was the scrappiness of the teams that they've played up against so far a little bit unexpected from them? Are they stronger when the expected is known?
I mean, there's so much tape now for the teams that are upcoming for the Mongols. And Fancy United, they're the ones getting hit by the shock and awe here, my friend. 119, though. To back away from the doors after seeing Nia close by. Camera getting intel too, but the Mongols, they push towards B main instead. And the test ahead of them is Yes I Can. Contingency, now for cover. Wingman on the plant. Yes I Can, peeking on out. Overdrive, of course, the biggest threat right now. It's lightning in the bottle, and Nia able to shatter some glass, but that's all he'll get. The one is what Fancy United tried to build off from, but with 1 HP and a shield on hand, Cons will back away with his life.
Yeah, and you've got the Mosh lineups, you've got the Gravity Wells as well. There should be no way in which Mongols do drop this one against the Foxy, who'll be guaranteed his ultimate come next round. And Twilight, 1 kill. Then he gets his, but he can't find it, Dax, and that's an easy shutdown from 119. Here is the 12th that we were expecting to come through. And I'm looking at as well, the 4 remaining members for the Mongols at the end of that round are all 1 away from their ults. So you're looking at what stretch out you want to do through A main that we've seen Twilight post up on. We're seeing what stretch out you might do over towards B, but it is looking towards A from the radar position at the moment. Whose ult are you favoring at this point in time?
Dude, simply put, whoever gets a kill first, they're going to look stronger. They're going to look even better. And right now, it doesn't really matter for the Mongols. Perhaps priority for the orb might be for either Fear or Cons in this one. But that first contact... Yeah, I mean...
I would say Cons to remove somebody from the site. If you're not expecting them to play there, you're not really having, initiative utility to drone somebody out or dump somebody out.
119! He's cheeky! And I like how at least Twilight has the inkling of what's going on. Protect that orb as much as you can. You send
all the timing.
Ooh, the back away from Nexi, but Cons should maybe take
the
that
double
orb.
Timing.
Fear? Blast? No, but the push on the top mid is good for Fancy United. Nexi escaping into his smoke. The plant comes on down. The 4v5 ahead of us.
So the plant from Fear, no orb gathered to be able to pick up a different ultimate, but you do have a lot of space into towards the site.
Ooh, and maybe around here, that MongolZ will just go for dry contact instead. Everything going to the wayside. Next step here needs to be the hero. Not gonna happen. Good restraint from the MongolZ, but an even better advance from Fancy United to keep themselves alive.
Two really unfortunate pieces of timing for the MongolZ in this round as well, right? But gorgeous for Nia. Able to find all the information that the rotate's already in towards the A site, that you know that the spike is going down, to call the audible to the team to get on over, but also you hear the stomping come through from 119. You know you can play a little bit disciplined, find that kill, and really lock MongolZ in towards the site with no way out, as Artlink is already covered off. You've got flowers covered. You've got secret. You've got everywhere that they could possibly go covered, right? So nice timing from Fancy United to be able to pick that one up. And now we are seeing, Dax, how much closer can they get this map, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. You can see why Coach RD is calling for the timeout right now. The almost a while ago there, Komodo. It's 4 ultimates ready for the MongolZ, and throwing up one last play to try and end it all. But there were so many shining moments for Fancy United in that last round. I love how Twilight is still putting the pressure. I love how Fancy United is being proactive. They know the situation. They know what's going on. They're smart players, but the MongolZ have outmatched them in firepower, in positions, in utility so far in this game. And there's only one more round. The MongolZ needs this confidence from Coach RD. They know they have this one locked in if they just get this last round.
I mean, you're going to look and reflect back on towards this series after as Fancy United, and you're going to recognize that you made a mistake in this veto picking attack first, right? Against this double sentinel lineup, getting them on the defense first and just allowing them to stretch out when you aren't running Fade or Sova to get this early information to drone out to get info on positions. That is a bit of a costly mistake.
Yeah, and it kind of begs the question, right? How do you break the utility safely for Fancy United? It's always so tough. The biggest deal has been Twilight using the fake out throughout the game. And speaking of, the decoy comes on in. MongolZ gonna let it through. The thrash though coming in from it, broken quickly actually by Nia. Twilight now backing away onto the side. Here, keep an eye out because the KO's also nearby. Nia though fights 119. Big pick to start things off for Fancy United. But Sky is blue, playing the entry. The fight's in the front line. Here we go with the kill contract, but it misses as Foxy sidesteps away. Now, past the cost of the fight. Up close, Cons gets the headshot even. And MongolZ now advantage as they move towards B.
Sending in little buddy to go and get that plant as well. If Cruz can get one kill here, Cosmic Divide would be an absolute godsend to try and isolate something, but the flank, this is the crucial duel, and it's won by Yes I Can. An opportunity now for Fancy United.
Wonderful timing from Yes I Can. A 2v2 now upon us. And Cruz trying to just navigate through the smokes. Cons though, finding, searching whatever he can for. But Nexi now notices there, but Yes I Can. Well, yes, he will. A second as Cons has to be locked in. Eyes wide open. He's focused. He's ready, but he's dead to right to Cruz. What could have been for MongolZ has been taken away by Fancy United. And Yes I Can. Some penultimate duels there. Some massive moments for him to win it out for the team.
Another scenario where a player on the MongolZ has been caught a little bit lacking with a knife out, right? Last time you had 119 rotating towards A. This time you've got MN Fear, unfortunately, when he's looking to fall on back and play for the timing on the spike, right? A lot of individual things. What MongolZ have already afforded themselves is okay to steady the ship, and they'll also be building up to ults of their own, right? You'll get the Steel Garden. You'll get a little bit closer to that kill contract if you need to.
Yeah, and we're back into the game, folks. Can the MongolZ close things off, or will Fancy United still survive? A great showing, actually, from Foxy, the newest player here for FCY, joining after the Predator League qualifiers. Cons, though, ready for contact, but Fancy United sneak out smart well. It's a 2-for-1, but Cons get a double of his own. And the MongolZ, they salvage already this push into Art. Cons looking for more. Here comes the stun from Nia. A slide in, great movement, and Fancy United keep the advantage.
Yeah, double angle that Cons has to contest with. I'm surprised that he did stick around as long as he did, but at the end of it, player advantage for Fancy United, equalized.
Fire from Fear, but Foxy's there, and Foxy does it again. I was saying just a while ago, he's the new addition to his roster. He's the new face to VCTC, and he is performing so well no matter what. Clutch scenarios, he handles it well.
Yeah, it's always one of these things as well. It's like, where have you picked up a player like this from, right? What experience do they have previously? What are they bringing towards the team, right? Because we've only got enough tape against that half-team game. So he didn't have the strongest showing, but it really feels like he stepped up in towards this map, Dax.
Yeah, just always great to see Some of these rotations, or these rosters rather, being moved around, and then the new additions performing. We saw that in full sense yesterday. We're seeing it right now here for Fancy United. And the operator in the hands of Twilight, willing to peek, but instead, it's the Mongols playing for mid here.
And something I'll highlight too, Mongols have gotten a plant on every single round that they've lost in this half. Every round that Fancy United have found has been on a defuse. So it's these post plants that are getting the better of the Mongols.
The Mongols looking for eliminations early. The Dizzy comes on in, but Sky is Blue is caught in the vortex. And yes, I can. Able to drown him in it. Fancy stat. Looking good past the doors.
They're already up the site though, Dex.
Yeah, the B side seeded though, and this has to be Fancy. Trying to be careful of the cons pushing.
Yeah, but where are you considering that 119 is going to hang around from as well? Is he just going to have to be the guy to hold the flank? Or is he going to have to get in here with the team? Because you've got a lockdown from Yes I Can where Link is open to deploy. You got the Cosmic Divide that you can block off the whole long line as well.
Well, Fancy, they have an arsenal to work with. The Dimensional Drift, the lockdown's there too. And the Mongols have to give up the site. This is just danger territory for Nexi. Blind sights come in, fake outs there too, and Neo already catching him out. Here comes the Cosmic Divide. Here's a wall that the Mongols needs to go through from. Pinching short, but there's no plan of action. Fancy United looking dominant now, and a flawless retake. It's stellar here for Fancy. Flawless.
Yeah, it's one of these scenarios as well as when you're seeing all those ults that Fancy United have available, somebody has to call an audible over on the side of the Mongols that they need to take deeper space. They cannot hold on the side itself. They have to be pushing in through the link for the contest. They have to be pushing in towards spawn. They have to get a little bit more proactive, because the way that they're losing these rounds at the moment is when they're taken out in the post plant, because it's a quick retake from Fancy, who have 2, maybe 3 angles at most to watch. There's no contest getting in towards their face. It's kind of mundane in the post plant, honestly.
Double timeout here for the Mongols, but I agree with you. Coming into these post plants, Fancy United, they like these lesser angles. They like that, okay, there are lesser options right now for the Mongols. You know they're going to stick around. If they catch the lurk, it's even easier. And one Cosmic Divide is apparently one great wall that the Mongols cannot jump over. So it's been a rally here for Fancy United, but the job isn't done yet. 3 more rounds here for Fancy United to force overtime. And I think for Mongols, the money situation, from what looked to be so brilliant, such a big reserve for so long, it's dwindling now.
That's good composure from Fancy United as well, right? When you're staring down the barrel of a map loss, you got a whole series that you might have to contend with to try and reverse it. You want to give it your all to get back in towards this map first and foremost, right? They're recognizing the fact that their strengths are actually in these post plants. When they pick apart Mongols early on and bail out, they can be happy enough to play in towards these posts. So I don't think that's a strategy that they necessarily need to change. The onus is definitely on the Mongols and what they need to do here, which, Dax, this is what I was talking about when we had that tech, right? You drop those couple of rounds, you're building up ults of your own, you get your gun rounds again, and look what we've got here. You still got 119's neural theft, but more importantly, cons can open things up with the kill contracts. Sky is Blue and MMV both run away from their ults as well, which are going to be huge to get in or to hold a post plant, more importantly, with that Steel Garden.
No, I agree with you. We're back to where we left off a while ago. We're back to the Mongols getting closer and closer to the ultimate bonanza that they can bring to the round. But then again, Fancy United have stabilized. They still have the operator in the hands of Twilight. And effectively now, Fear just so far away with the spike. Instead, we're looking for cons. Whatever kind of pick he can find towards Art. But no peeks from FCY. Very reserved on the defense.
You got to be cautious. If you reveal your position whatsoever, you do open yourself up to being picked into the gulag. Again, though, this is something that Twilight is going to absolutely love. The bailout strategy. You got to pick with the op and you leave because they are rotating over towards him. But timing on that gate crash actually does fade. So he has to play just a little bit more one-dimensional.
Oh, get over this. This is a freebie. This is going to be a hit.
Oh, you got the clone!
That's the decoy. The freak out held at the right time. I was waiting to see where did Twilight place that. A shield now with the double. And we will see the Mongols get the plant anyway. The wingman gets the job done, sure. But this long angle still held by Twilight.
They got the thrash off the plant. And they also got Sky is Blue on the Steel Garden. Can they get forward enough to be able to drop it in the corner? They start to use it. Oh, they can escape it.
He's found the corner. He's found some safety. And here comes the Thrash right now to stall for time. The Mongols, at least, buying whatever they can here. Whatever delays is possible. The mosh pit now to add more to that stopwatch. Twilight, though, unable to hit the shot. Here comes FCY United now. A fast play, the expressway. And Nia is 2 for 1. But in the chaos, the Mongols don't stand. Nia now needs to go massive. It's a 1v1. And Khan is ready for this one. The slide comes. Nia with the 4. But it's such a far run. And there is just no way to bridge the distance. The Mongols, they buy time, they buy space, and they get themselves the map win.
Consolation.
Can the Mongols get another 2-0 sweep and put themselves 1 match away from stage number 3? And think about it. The Mongols, they're really climbing this ladder. They've been running rampant in Premier, and they know that the road ahead is looking possible.
That's it. Remember, the loser isn't gone just yet. They will be playing against the winner of Arf and Unsigned 5 that we'll see a little bit later on tonight. But yeah, you know, you want to get that victory slot to get up against the top of battle. You want to see who you're going to be playing against. Solo 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. And think about it. If you win here, you don't play against full sense. I think that's a big deal.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, full sense. Oh.
Let's see what this pistol round does present us, because Sky is blue this time on towards the Neon, and that's already some crucial info.
Oh, before he even sees the clouds, he sees a target. Khan still from afar, finding Yes I Can. Paranoia too late to the party, and Khan's again with a second. Shield now recharged with low HP. He backs away towards the site.
Yeah, this just reminds me of some ISO abuse that we did see in the patch a couple of times ago, where, you know, a lot of teams were adopting it. I'll note one from home, JFT. It was like their success story was ISO go kill.
That wasn't justice for tomorrow. That was justice for yesterday. And speaking of, guys, VCT OCE also kicking off. Always good to see our sister regions in Pacific having great one. Fully expect these guys to be there too. But in any case, FCY United, they are trying at least to find the garage control. Twilight, on the other hand, that's too easy for Cons. A 3rd kill now, and it's up to Nexi to actually hold on to see a tripwire though in the way of FCY.
And that's all the information that you need as the Mongols as well start to pivot over towards this C site. But an opportunity actually potentially on the cards for FCY United. Time to be bought. A bailout strategy with the gate crash as well, but your plant isn't too strong for long, so you do need to use that as a fake later or a, you know, get out and then challenge.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's a default plant instead. Perhaps the fear that someone's gonna peek out from garage. In any case, low HP for Cons. Sets up the undercut. Intel 2. Sky is blue. It is just precision. But you also notice that one. M and Fear. Recon and the shock, right? Doing some
I was gonna say,
work.
That shock to me felt accidental, because that is not generally a position that you would use a shock dart when you're playing from, you know, CT retake. But hey, if he's got that foresight that someone could be hiding in that connector, then, you know, for sure, absolutely big brain play.
Yeah, you got the scan anyway, and crazy stuff from the IGL of the Mongols. A first round, and I fully expect this to be the style of their defense moving forward. With Cons and Sky is blue happy to contest, they're gonna try to sow some discord around the map here.
Well, I mean, a good start is what we saw from the Mongols over at map number 1, right? So if they can get out started on this map too, and maybe hit your one-ways, it's difficult, we know. It's alright, you're forgiven. 119, you're forgiven. I'll call you out. We saw it.
Don't worry. Dion always remembers. Guys, Dion either remembers or has the stats, has a spreadsheet. I'm always impressed by how many Google Docs and Excels these guys have. But in any case, it's a 1-for-1. Sky is blue. The judge up close inside the smoke. Here comes the fake out now. Flash plus information in. That's the one way to get away from this one. Screws up like a bunny. It's chaos now onto the B side, but Sky is blue. Finds order with the judge. He's brought the gavel and he swung it well. Mongol style with a second.
So scrappy to come through around that one. The B side of Haven is always one of those ones where you either never see it planted on because of how difficult it can be, or you always see it as just a eco plant and you know, it doesn't really matter, job's done, right? So scrappiness in that one, a little bit of damage attributed to FCY for sure, but it's all to set themselves up for the rifle rounds to come right now. And, you know, one of the things that is in the back of my mind as well is the differences that the Yoru is going to bring onto this roster when you think about how Twilight was using him on Pearl. Is Foxy going to be using him essentially the same way? You know, is it just individual comfortability for then Twilight to be playing Cypher on this map as opposed to, you know, him on Yoru, for example?
I mean, it's been standard for Vietnam as a whole. It's wild sometimes how flexible these players can be, but it's also a double-edged sword. We've seen Vietnamese teams falter in terms of performance because they're swapping agents when they could have been just sticking around on similar roles. When you see these kind of adjustments, and I think one change I've noticed with Foxy compared to how Twilight's been playing it is he's sending out these fake outs, not just for intel, but he's trying to play off the flash immediately.
Yeah. I like the idea as well over at C-Long at the moment from the Mongols. You play with that spy cam for a little bit of information and get Skies Blue to just dash out essentially with the neon slide and judge them down. So just these little minute tidbits to follow on forward. But right now you're just trying to keep everybody entertained towards the C side of the map because your goal is to end over at A, where the recon dart just gets thrown out by M and Fear and it doesn't spot anything. So you got to consider 40 seconds to go. Do they cheat a rotate or do they just stick here and try to fight?
And also pay attention to this one. Cons has the rifle coming into the bonus because he also has that kill contract. Problem is, if the swarm comes on in, it's no place to be safe for the ISO ult. And immediately, Mongols backing away. 119 though, gets the catch onto Twilight. So no lurk towards B, and it should be a retake ISO ult coming into this one.
Right here.
Yeah, you can see that Cons just immediately got out of that one. So when they start to get the plant, you'll leave that a little bit later on. An opportunity on where you want to do it on the back of this drone.
Who's the cut? It will be Cruz. A 1v1 in the gulag now, and the kill contract has been signed with blood. What the hell was that, Sky is Blue? We stepped back into reality there, Komodo, and suddenly the Mongols have already won the round.
Yeah, I mean, just when you remove one player from Fancy United, right, you've got an angle that gets overlooked. You've got a little bit of chaos because you got to be careful on who's getting in towards the site. And when you're at a 4 versus 3 in the end there, or 5 versus 4, you make it a 5 versus 3. You make it a 4 versus 3.
Yeah.
It's so much easier to get in on the retake when there's scrappiness, right? Because you got to consider, oh, if our teammate wins the duel, can we protect him when he comes back? We got to get all these kills as well. We got to contest with all this utility. It just makes it really difficult for the team on the receiving end in the ISO ult situation there, and Cons does exactly what he needs to do in that scenario. Really well placed out by the Mongols.
He's always in a safe spot. They made sure that it was for the retake, and another proponent of that play, Sky is Blue, very fast, very quick. And FCY taking a page out of that playbook, hastily making their way into C-side.
Yeah, I mean, it's great recognition from the Mongols and how they want to take these rounds, right? And how they want to try and win them. But now when you're contesting a 5 versus 5 in towards the C-side, this is where it really stretches you.
Oh, undercut right now. Try to find any opportunity. Please, extra bit of damage, Nia. Alongside Foxy up close with the Bucky and the Stinger. There's just no
And now the flank.
impact. There's one impact. There's a flash, kill, and Cruz eventually gunned on down. Mongols all around the world, man. It's Mongols worldwide finding the 4th round.
Flank not even needed at the end there from Skysville as well, because it's just Cons and Co that's getting the job done. So they weather the bonus rounds, the big gun round from Fancy. They're looking pretty flawless. I mean, I questioned it over on Pearl, right? Why are you giving Mongols in a double sentinel setup the defensive side? You don't technically know that they're running it.
Streak that they have here.
I see it as a situation of you don't need to use the overdrive at the moment, so why, use it? If you get into an eco, hold it for then, when you can still look to do some damage, pill for a rifle for a teammate. And he's actually sleuthed in towards a pretty nasty spot at the moment if it doesn't get spotted out, droned out.
Smokes there too. Yes, I can, but yes, I can! Come on, the can-do attitude, always good to see. With the op gone, Cons, he's in trouble. He's one away from the kill contract. The isolated M and Fear, ready to assist from heaven, and Fancy United happy with the pick. They're gonna back away from now. It's so much time still remaining anyway.
Yeah, Foxy went away from Dimensional Drift. If they do stream in towards this C area, they can pick that one up and clear out the site, and then maybe they can actually hold a post plant in towards this gun round. So it's not a bad idea for them to regroup, relinquish control that they were starting to find over at the A site, and really put a bit of pressure on towards the Mongols now, who I feel are going to have to go in for a retake at this C site.
Yeah, this is the opening. Tripwire sure in the way, but Fancy United, they get the clear here. 119, finding opportunity from the garage. Cover as bullets just get sprayed at him. But beyond that, Fancy, now they have the plan. Does Fear You can find an opening. Seems like it's not. It's a 4v5 retake, as you said.
Look how close Near is.
Foul drone. The intel. But Khan's taking a lot of damage. Here comes the double tap now to shield him. A spray through the smoke. That's the kill. Kill contract now available. 3v2 ahead. Darts even into play. Cruz with from the shadows to try and regroup with the rest of the team towards B long. And the Mongols now. There's the defuse. Beautiful shield. An opportunity to get past. Can they go for the stick? Answers no. An attempt was made there by the Mongols, but Fancy United, they found their one.
Yeah, with that wall coming on out as well, you know, there's the contingency that you throw it in the right spot. If there's a gap on the side of it, pardon my pun, you're just gonna get taken out, right? So
yeah.
Finally, really nicely done from Fancy United, actually, when they recognize that they get the first kill and they can just kind of waltz away, go together as a unit and get in. The power of having a gate crash, of having the Neon to just get in quickly, right? You can combo them with a flash on in there. Good timing on a recon too. It can make out for a pretty nice execute.
Yeah, and Fancy United are noticing this C site is a very possible flood angle to play from. Here comes a fake out now for the initial tripwire. 119 backing away. Potential drift though, pushing into Link even, and there's some big intel for Fancy United.
Yeah, clearing everything it feels like in this scenario, and you don't have the Hunter's Fury from MMP either. You do have the kill contract that's going to pick up Nia.
Oh, a victim now yet again inside jail. Sky is blue though. Here we go again. We're watching the ISO, but it's the Neon on the board. Yes, I can though with a shutdown of Sky is blue. And the Mongols now have made their way towards site. Garage is still an angle, but 119 is just so keen. Fear now on defuse duty. Contingency this time. It'll be plan A. And yes, I can. He'll get the one, but 119 and Fear finish off the job. The Mongols with the 5th round.
I love that Con steadies himself at the end of the kill contract as well with the tap on the orb to maximize time length too. This is a neat little bit to come out, but the fact that he's like, I don't know if he's 100% successful with these kill contracts just yet, but it feels like it's pretty close to that.
It feels like it. On Pearl, what we remember is it's either he gets the kill or he misses it completely. I don't think...
It's either he gets the one tap immediately.
Yeah.
I
don't think he's lost a duel yet. Actually,
well, that's another successful retake round, by the way, to come through from the Mongols. They've only found retake defusers so far and dropped one. But they have reset the economy of Fancy United at the moment, which poses a really large problem that this would be the round for the Mongols to secure the half.
Yeah, I mean, Fancy United, they've been good gardeners. They've planted that spike for the whole game. But beyond that, 119 now. Taking some chip damage from Nia. He's actually in danger. But the Cyber Cage to bail him out. And the Mongols now, they do at least dissuade Fancy from pushing towards Garage here.
I wonder how enticing it is for Yes I Can to use the Hunter's Fury in a round such as this. When you're on an eco, you've been successful in getting the plants as well. Do you shift to try and use it in combination with a bit of your teammates' utility? I mean, it's got to be in the back of your mind, but you're really just trying to see what info and what damage you can deliver in a round such as this. Your strength in numbers, all one-dimensional over to this A site. With 40 seconds to go as well, there's not actually a lot of utility from the Mongols on this alpha site, so it may very well even switch in to the retake once more.
Here we go. Here. Shock.
Oh, what a dart.
Dude, he has just been clairvoyant.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the combination. That was the undercut with the dart to take him down to 45.
Whoa, and now it's easy damage with the Hunter's Fury. Fear is a marksman. Give the man a bow and arrow, and he will just feed on those kills. Mongols now showing absolute precision. Come on. The history books have shown how archery works out for a team like the Mongols, and Sky is blue now back on the side. It's just chaos again. It's just speed, and it truly is a fact, a force of nature with Sky is blue as the Mongols will get their 6th round.
Something Project A, don't kill with abilities, blah, blah, blah. I mean, Neon certainly changes the way that this game is played, doesn't it? There's not really much you could do when he's just sprinting around and relay bolting you down in a scenario like that, I feel.
So yeah, did you know that there is traditional Mongolian mounted archery? So...
Well, there's archery things on Haven.
Yeah. Fear is the archer, man. What the?
True, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just hitting targets. I mean, he's got 3 kills, but how many of them are from the ultimate? 2 of them. You know, it's pretty good success rate.
And then the 5 assists, the shock dart, and the recon dart. You know,
I gotta say, the layering of utility that we're seeing from the Mongols in a lot of these different scenarios, right? Just combo utility from MNFIA, from Cons. You got it on this map, you had it on the previous map as well, over on Pearl, when you're considering that Cons is setting himself up for, you know, play with Nexi on the Grav Wells, for an example, right? It's just really, really good layering from Mongols and adapting to these situations.
I mean, we're just so impressed by how precise these darts are, but you're absolutely on point there, Dion. Just there's always the utility that gets comboed on up. And one of the strengths really we've seen from the Mongols as we get our third tech pause of the series is when Cons is busy with the kill contract, right? The Mongols as a whole, they're just so fast to play off the map. Sky is blue. I wish sometimes we had the split cam, because there's always something happening with Sky is blue when we're watching the Cons 1v1.
It's too difficult to, you know, kind of have your eyes focus on multiple different angles. So when we're sitting back in our, you know, armchair yapping about it, the guys in the server, you know, on the receiving end, for example, on the back of Sky is Blue running around like that, and Cons just dancing around you with, you know, 2 right feet. It makes it pretty difficult to fire back as Fancy United, it feels, at the moment. So with this pause, they can have some, you know, inner thoughts, which hopefully is not inner turmoil, and figure out a recipe to get back in towards this one, because they really haven't been able to activate, you know, the likes of Nia, the likes of Foxy to get in dirty in these duels.
Yeah, I agree with you. Just Nia and Foxy, they're getting the space, but MongolZ is ready for it. You remember in that C take, right? In those multiple C takes, Nia tries to play into Link, but it's just never really succeeded because MongolZ is spamming that smoke, they're getting the intel, and when it comes to close contact, who's the guy they have to deal with? It's the ISO with the shield. So you can understand why it's gotten tough for Fancy United, but they're also just unable to weather the storm that MongolZ is so prepared for.
The Mongols aren't sticking around when they don't need to. If they recognize the fact that they can push themselves back to a retake, they don't have to stick around to the site. They're not playing with the I got mine, right?
Yeah.
They're not playing with I got 2, my job is done. They're playing with how can we do this together as a team to better success the rounds, and they're doing that to a T. You know, the A site example is a really good one when you have that undercut and the shock dart lineups, right? They were playing really close at the front of the site. They recognized, oh, we're getting overwhelmed. Let's just give it. We're very successful in our retakes. Play to our strength there. And they do it flawlessly, essentially. So I really want to give, like, great credit towards the Mongols' game plan in how they're playing this. But also, I want to highlight the unfortunate weakness of Fancy United, that they've not been able to adjust whatsoever.
Yeah. It's been the same old story really for the past few rounds, and Fancy United, they've done well to get the 1, but if it's just effectively the definition of insanity, right? They're just struggling right now against the Mongols on the post-plant play. And Nia now overdrives there, and case in point, 119. He doesn't even bother too much. Here comes the decoy, though. It's a little brave to fake out in his face. But Nia, it's still the same old story. A heartbreaker inside the smoke, and MongolZ already drawing first blood.
And it's the exact same positions that the Fancy United guys get in towards the site with that gate crash with the slide as well. But this time there's a secondary flank coming on through Cons.
Rare whip, actually. And Cons now needs to do it the hard way. Gets the R back after the kill. 3v2 ahead, but Cruz is able to equalize numbers. Here by Logs, Cruz with another. It's up to Cons now. Blindside good. A flash to keep him at bay. Shield broken. Foxy breaks his face. And Fancy United, that's what they needed.
Having a couple of bodies on the floor to watch the separate angles at that time, and it almost feels like MongolZ got a little bit too in front of themselves on that flank as well, because both of the flankers weren't together exactly at that time. So a little bit unfortunate, but you got to hit your shots when you are Fancy United in that scenario too. Cruz, sensational to be able to double down on the side itself too. So finally, Fancy United, and they do answer back, but Dax, are they going to be able to do it again? Light shields, no real ultimates to be able to assist. Trying the same thing over towards C yet again.
Yo, I saw this movie before. It starts
Groundhog Day?
Yeah, dude, it starts with one fast lane. I don't know why. It doesn't matter how hard they try, but here we go. Fancy United now. Back into the seaside. Back to the same old story. The Neon slide in, but this... Nia, please. Please don't go in there. Not anymore.
Well, Cons has the ultimate as well, so he can remove somebody from the equation, but are they going to be able to hold it down? Because I like this initiative to come through from Fancy. It's squandered, though.
Yeah, it's better this time for Fancy United, but not good enough. Here comes MongolZ, and here we go again. He'll contract utilize Cons.
Cons wins again.
Yes, I can, and Twilight now, only one standing. 1v2, there's the hole, but Fear gets away with his life for now. Halfway done, halfway left, but Cons still unbeatable in these single duels. We didn't even bother to go to the Cons camp there. We knew he was going to win, and the MongolZ would take the round.
And the difference as well that the undercut actually just hits successfully at the end. He jumps in with the shield, and one bullet, you're gone. You're not surviving that at the end. You remove Cons' shield, but you need to do more, right? So just really heads up from the MongolZ when they take the duel. You know, they recognize that they get pushed. Their guns out. They don't immediately set up for a retake with full utility out, right?
Yeah.
They know that the push is coming towards them. They adjust accordingly. Cons has that ult to remove one person from the equation, but the rest of the team still is fixated on getting into the site, getting that spike defused, which is another round that they get defused.
Yeah, we go to A this time around. The thing is, though, Nia and Foxy had a good plan. It was a great relay vault, actually. But Nia, that's what he needed. But as soon as he shows up, he's traded so quickly. It's a first blood, sure, but Fancy United lose out as the duelist is gone so early on.
Hey, Dax, Cons just used his kill contract and he's 3 away. He's closest to the next one than he is from using it. Like, ridiculous.
This guy is the true definition of freelance, you know?
Yeah.
Good for him, always getting paid.
Well, you got some real estate at the moment for the MongolZ around the map, but the problem is a little bit of a gap that can be exploited. If Fancy can try and stream in towards this B site, they're going to look to set up the dark covers. Paranoia to go in one way.
Okay. They're willing to give this one up, though. Paranoia utilized, as you mentioned. And Nexi actually close by. Cyber Cage already scaring him off at the very start. Fake out blindside, there you have it. Nexi though shooting the wrong one. And Fancy United getting due for the trouble. They push it to link, but here comes Cons again. Ready to slow down any targets, but yes, I can. Hits the good shot. Everyone's left to 119. There's the first. He's looking for something to work with, but it's up top with the Omen body. Instead, a second victim. This time he gets the intel. 1v1 ahead of him. It's yes, I can with 3 HP. But no, it's not happening yet. Over into cover, trying to get halfway, but yes, I can. Sneaky peeky like, and 119. It's 1, 2, 3 down in front of him. The numbers mean much for MongolZ, and the clutch again, plus the defuse for another time.
That is gorgeous how he's actually pathed himself in towards that side as well, right? When you get the info from Cons that 2 of them, or but 3 of them pushed over towards Link in this duel right now, he can focus on finding that first kill on Cruise Elevated. He knows the 2 are coming from that A-Link area, finds the first, and then it is just, all right, where's the last one? There's been 10 seconds since we knew he was in Link. Where could he possibly be? Ult on out at that scenario, because it's one of the greatest ults in that position, right? 6 ulti orbs to get your opponent's info where they are. It's absolutely brilliant, and he finds the duel. That is really, really well done from 119.
Yeah, and I want to commend Fancy United again. That was a good eco round, but nevertheless, MongolZ still with the score on the board. And it's just looking so similar to what we saw in Pearl. 8-2 right now. Fancy United struggling to find any impact. The sky is blue, showing everyone what the overdrive is all about. Maximum velocity, and he's got turbo onto the A side. Another victim as the lightning fingers keep on blasting. And the MongolZ, they just let this spike be planted. They're doing this for fun now.
You can't ground him. You can't ground him. He's just discharging absolutely everywhere around it. Resetting on those fingers as well. That is absolutely ridiculous for him. I noticed at the end there too, he even got vulnerable by Cons, but it doesn't matter at that point because he doesn't get scared and bail out of the duel, right? The idea is that that undercut comes through towards short to be able to, you know, dislodge anyone that's there, but then he finds Chris down in the sewer area and finds it. That is just brilliant. We're seeing haste from Fancy United, but we're seeing, you know, even more kind of leveled haste from the MongolZ, who are just doing it sensationally better. By the way, has there been a plant every single round from Fancy so far?
I believe so.
There's been a plant every round.
This has been, truthfully, the biggest garden we've seen in VCTC. These
and we just played a Vice.
Yeah.
With the steal.
We're gonna make a spike 3 at this point. Foxy, that's up close with the Bucky. Gets away with the murder, sure. But here we go again. Cons, come on. You've been the king of kill contracts. And he does it one more time. Down to a 4v4 into the post line. Here comes on in already. Here comes Sky is Blue onto the flag. Relay bolt down to play onto the side. And Sky is Blue looking truly at more of possibilities. Cons with 3, but come on, man. You look up in the sky. What color is it? All I see is gold for Mongols. It's 10-2 at the end of the half.
I see gray because it is a rainy day for Fancy United at the moment.
That's a lie. You're colorblind.
Yeah, I know. I'll throw that one in there. But I just want to say, like, the action that Cons is going in with, the action that Sky is Blue is going in with as well. They know they're...
Well, it's been very sweet here for the Mongols, and they're in for a 3 because they're 3 away from taking another sweep. Another commanding first half. The defense has been sublime. And I think we do get confirmation that that round was just all about defuses and plants. But here comes Mongols now. Over onto mid here, Dion.
Yeah, we'll see if Mongols are going to be able to get a plant and hold a post plant this time around. It was something that plagued them a little bit over on the first map for their, you know, secondary half adventures. But they're into the C site a little bit differently than Fancy United are getting in. It's going to be a 5 versus 5 post plant.
Yeah, same destination, different path through the garage, but Sky is Blue now. At least to find even more. How do you get away with 2? That's already a good sign here for the Mongols, but Nia at least makes a great happen. Here comes Foxy though from the doorway. It's fascinated now with the numbers. They've been good at these second pistols though throughout the series. Can they get one more for good measure? Seems like the answer. Yes, so far. 119 ahead of him. 3 targets yet again. 1v3 very possible for the Cypher, but distance covered by Nia is enough to give the tracks to Fancy. A 3rd round now overall for the defense.
I'm not gonna lie, I was a little bit questioning that reload in the garage window when you've just dispatched of 2 of your opponents and there's guns on the floor that you could pick up quickly instead of reloading when you've got dirty territory around the corner. It's one of these really small positions, you know, for Sky is Blue there that could have potentially changed the outcome of the round. But hey, for the remainder of the squad as well, the shots weren't really getting hit at that post plant. So well done for Fancy United to be able to navigate around that one and still have a leg in this race.
The scriptwriters though, man. First pistol goes to Mongols, second pistol goes to Fancy, and another defuse in this game?
13 plants. 13 for 13.
Yeah, we're copy-pasting the script today, but here we go now with Mongols looking to change the hand. And Sky is Blue is in the middle of all the action. He just hugs Fancy United as much as he can, but both are wide open. But Cruz down with the flag and is up to Cons. Classic on hand. Gets at least some cover to work with. And what is this? A vandal suddenly? Cons says, yes, please, I'll take it. Has to push though towards the spike. Cruz now in a 1v1, but the tap is just unreal. And Cons can move elsewhere now.
He got shot at by Twilight on the site as well. You can see that there's 10 in the chamber, so that's really unfortunate. Cons has an opportunity here. The team went in with a shotgun and some pistols, mate.
And somehow, it's Mongols with the vandal in hand.
Ooh, interesting plant position, though.
Might be thinking about playing towards Link, watching Link itself. And Twilight has moved his way towards the side. Timing, though, relatively decent for Cons. He can find the wraparound. But Twilight's already made his way towards the spike, searching for one another. Just spotlights being set on the site itself. Barrel and Cons with the gun down. Truly a champion in the clutch. Mongols, they make the eco work.
I had a glimpse there that he gets 180 headshotted when the first couple of shots of that Vandal start missing. But what is that ridiculous opening shot from Sky is Blue? 3 targets when the smoke fades out. The rest of the team, they had classic kills to come on through, but then Cons, you give him a Vandal and you just know deep down as a watcher, as an avid Valorant fan who's watching this series, yeah, Cons wins this.
Bro. He dove headfirst into the mosh pits and just hugged 2 of Fancy United with him. What chaos sown by the Neon, and Sky is Blue. Truly a freak of nature, what we've seen so far. But Fancy United now, they have to seed C site. The gun's not good at all. It's an eco for Fancy, so they're gonna have to play for overtime at this rate.
Why did we see this guy on the Vice in the previous map? Keep him on the Neon because this is entertaining and it's very successful.
Well, it's really looking to be a sunshine-filled day for the Mongols if this keeps up. But Fancy United, looking for any kind of damage into this one. Nia does have the overdrive. If they can get picked, that might be the chance, but they're just gonna decide to go for the Hail Mary play. But unfortunately for FCY, their prayers are left unheard. The Mongols now looking godly in the round. They have the guns anyway. They're in position. And unfortunately for Cruz, he's fighting against an army. Khan's the first to fall short. Here comes the judge, but there's just no dice against Nexi. Mongols now, not just map point here, my friend. It's series point for them.
Match point.
Yeah, and it's a series where they, like you mentioned earlier, they don't go up and they don't have to play against Full Sense, right? They get the #1 seed going in towards that lower part of the bracket, where they'll play winner of Zolan 1, 2, 3 to get a shot to going into the next stage where we're seeing all of our Ascension, representatives, right? So it's looking really plausible for the Mongols. And I just want to also say, can we just not break the streak right now?
Yes, please.
Right? We're 15 for 15 plants at the moment. Yeah.
I enjoy that this game has not had a TDM round. But Khans now kills Contract onto the side. Sky is blue also with the ultimate. So Mongols investing early just to make Dion's wish come through. So the plant should be safe. Shot type's used already, and come on, please. There you have it. Spike planted.
Yeah, and with the overdrive failing out now, he's got the judge up close and personal too. So this 5 versus 5 is still going to be relatively tricky for Fancy.
Oh, undercut over onto Heaven. Sky is blue inside the cyber cage now. He's good for the one, but Twilight with the straight. There's Intel here for the side of Fancy United. They know what's playing onto the default. And 119 now through the smoke. Mongols again in command and in charge. Everything left to Yes I Can. Heroics needed for the IGL. He's done it so many times for Fancy United, but a single bullet left. Even has to take the time to reload. Khans and Nexi just waiting now on the opposite end. Gravwell's there. Yes I Can. Vulnerable in an open position. And the Executioner's hammer. The axe is swung.